everyone, so this video is going to be about my birthing plan. So I'm really aware that birth can go any way, so I'm written a lot of this stuff down in the hope that my birth goes to plan and everything goes well, there's no complications, but at the same time I'm realistic and I understand this is my first time having a baby and I am realistic about my options and how well I can deal with pain. I'm not sure that my pain threshold is very high, so I'm taking that all into account, and this is just a best case scenario. So everybody's different. I think that everybody will have their own views, so please just respect that in this video. It might be a bit of my naivety coming out, but yeah, we'll definitely find out soon. I have 7 days left before my due date, so yeah, we'll definitely find out soon whether this is realistic or whether I have to amend my plans, which I'm completely happy with. So yeah, please respect that and let me know how your births went, if they went to plan, or if you had to just throw it out the window at the time because I feel like that's a lot of people's stories. To start off, I wanted to mention that I have been using a Hypnobirthing digital pack. So my partner and myself, right at the beginning of the pregnancy, when we found out, we were looking at options because I wanted to try and have this birth as natural as possible. We were looking at things that could help with that, and a huge one was the Positive Birthing Company. That came up on many different videos that I watched. It came up on Instagram quite often and it looked really positive. I read through some of the stories and yeah, it sounded like something that could really help, and I am all up for getting all the help I can during this pregnancy and labour and afterwards. So everything that I've got in my birth plan kind of goes around with the hypnobirthing techniques as well. Obviously I'm not going to go into them hugely during this video, but if it's something that you're interested in, please let me know and I can go into how we've found the videos and all the digital pack that you get, because you get a lot with it and there's a lot of information there that is helpful, and a lot of information that at the beginning I was thinking hypnobirthing sounds a bit airy-fairy, but it's definitely not like that. It's more logical thinking, and yeah, I think it will help me. Obviously I don't know yet because I've not had my baby, but so while I'm going through what my birth preferences are, just keep that in mind that it all relates to the hypnobirthing techniques that I've been practicing and learning with the Positive Birthing Company. So the first thing, labouring positions. So I want to try and have as active a labour as possible. Now, because of the coronavirus, my partner is not allowed in until I'm in active labour, which is in Scotland anyway. I'm giving birth in an NHS hospital in Scotland. That's when you're 4 centimetres dilated. So I want to try and stay at home for as long as possible, and try and deal with the pain as much as possible beforehand. So positions beforehand. So I have a birthing ball at home which I plan to use to try and help use gravity and let everything open up as naturally as possible. I have a TENS machine at home which I plan to use as well. That is something that I've only practiced with. I've not actually used it for any pain or anything like that. Some athletes and people that do exercise use these things for pain, muscle pain and things. I've never used anything like that before, so hopefully I've read good things. I just bought mine off Amazon. I think it was 25 quid or something. It wasn't terribly expensive. So I plan to use birthing ball, my TENS machine and baths. So I have bought myself some nice Laura Mercier bubble bath, because I find that really relaxing, and that's how I plan to try and labour at home for as long as possible, along with timing contractions and things like that. But yeah, so that's my plan, to stay at home for as long as possible. Again, my pain threshold I don't think is very high, so we'll see how that goes. Sorry, I just had someone come to the door there. So where was I? So baby's heart monitoring. Sorry, sit up. So the baby's heart monitoring. So I would like nothing invasive. So nothing that would go inside and attach to the baby's head or anything like that. I'd like to try and do all heart monitoring externally, so with a stethoscope or with a Doppler machine. That's my preference, but again, if anything goes wrong, if anything isn't distressing the baby and we need to use one of the other methods, then of course it's something I'm going to take in all the information and I'm going to make an educated decision on it. I'm not going to rule out anything. It's just my preference that doesn't happen. So inducing labour, this is quite a big one, I guess, as well, because as a first time mum, it's quite common to go over your due date, and it's something that worries me a little bit. I'm planning on giving birth on this date, on the due date, and this is when I want it to happen. Now, I know the baby will come when the baby's ready to come, so that's fine, but things like a membrane sweep, where they kind of sweep across your cervix to induce labour, I preferably do not want one of them. I'd rather go further, the way I'm feeling just now anyway, I'd rather go further on in my labour and, in my pregnancy, than opt for a membrane sweep. Now, I know that doesn't suit everybody. Some people are super uncomfortable. Some people are having a really tough time during pregnancy, especially when they get to this point in the 3rd trimester. But for me, I am feeling pretty comfortable. I mean, obviously I've got I've got aches and pains, and you know, it's not the most comfortable feeling in the world, but I think I can cope with it. They don't let you go beyond 42 weeks, which is fine. At that point, then I will probably accept more kind of medical intervention. But for just now, if I was to get offered a membrane sweep at my 40-week appointment, excuse me, sorry, heartburn. If I was to get offered a membrane sweep at my 40-week appointment, it's not something I think I would accept right now. I would hold off and wait until I was further along and the baby's got time to do its own thing. I also just want to emphasise, if at any point the baby goes into distress, or if it's a risk to me or the baby at this point, then I would obviously accept induced labour. But at the moment, the way things are, I'm low risk, everybody's quite happy, the baby's moving about all the time. I'm quite happy to carry on with pregnancy the way it is. So, when I go into labour, hopefully naturally, I want to limit the amount of internal checks. So if at the moment during COVID, we need to, before my partner's allowed in hospital with me, they need to know that I'm a certain amount on in labour, so I need to be 4 centimetres. So I'll need to get checked at that point. There's no way about it. But I don't want it just to become a regular thing, you know, always getting checked, because I think, one, my motivation will probably wane if I hear bad news, or if I hear that I'm not progressing quickly. So if I can avoid getting checked, then I will. And then I think the next thing I will talk about is pain relief. So the big one, the controversial one. So pain relief. I'm going to caveat this by saying these are only plans if I get there and I feel like I need more pain relief, then of course I'm going to accept whatever's best for me and whatever's best for the baby. But saying that, I would like to use a birthing pool for pain relief. I've heard they're really, really good. I've heard that it can reduce your need to have any intervention during childbirth. So birthing pool, yes. Gas and air, yes. And hypnobirthing, self-help, so breathing techniques, etc. Yes, these are the things that I'm going to use while in the hospital. These are the things I plan to use while in the hospital. And then if need be, I'm happy to have an epidural if the pain is just a bit too much. Things that I don't want, if I can avoid it, is morphine or any kind of opioids. So anything that will affect the baby. So from what I've read, obviously I'm not a doctor, so please do your own research on this, but from what I've read, some of the pain relief you can get can affect the baby and make the baby slightly drowsy, slightly sleepy. It can make you feel a bit wacky, and I'd like to be in the moment as much as I can, so I can use my breathing techniques and I can use everything that I've learned through hypnobirthing. So those are the only kind of pain relief that I would want to stay away from. Assisted delivery if needed. A C-section, if I need to go down that route, then I will. It's not my first preference. Obviously a natural birth is always my first preference, but if the baby's in any kind of distress, if things aren't progressing correctly, then of course I will accept a C-section. Forceps and ventouse, so if I can avoid them, fingers crossed, I will. If I can give birth in a pool, then it definitely reduces the risk of you needing to get forceps or ventouse, so fingers crossed I can do that. So I think that's everything during labour, so that's all my notes that I've written out. So before I go to the hospital and when I'm at the hospital. Also when I am labouring, I want to avoid lying on my back at any point. I want to let gravity help as much as possible and hopefully give birth on, all fours, leaning forward. Yeah, I want to avoid lying down as much as possible, because that can be when you need more intervention and it can be more uncomfortable for your body as well. So hopefully do most of my labouring standing up, fingers crossed, depending on how tired I am and depending on how the baby's doing. So after I have the baby, hopefully we can do skin to skin. I would like the kind of golden hour, they call it, where you just lie with your baby skin to skin and try and begin the breastfeeding journey, hopefully, if that's something I can. Third stage in labour is your placenta arriving, so I'm quite happy to have the injection. It means it's actively managed, I think they call it. So an injection to make your placenta come out quicker. There's lots of reasons why people would get it and people wouldn't get it. My preference is I will get it from what I've read. It seems logical. Also delayed clamping. So in Scotland anyway, on the NHS, delayed clamping is done as standard. I'm not sure if that's the same everywhere, but it's something that I've added in my notes that I would prefer. So delayed clamping is when the baby's cord isn't clamped and cut straight away. I think they leave it for maybe a couple of minutes to allow the blood flow between you and the baby to continue for that time, and yeah, it seems logical again to get that done, and they do it as standard, so I'm quite happy for that to be done. Vitamin K injection, I'm quite happy for my baby to have that as well. I am going to be vaccinating my baby as well, so vitamin K, the pros in my opinion outweigh the cons, so that's something that I'm fine with. I'm quite happy for them to do that. And yeah, I think that's everything labour wise that I have got, labour, delivery and afterwards. Again, I know this could all go completely differently, and that's fine as well. I'm okay with that. I'm just excited and looking forward to meeting my baby, so not long now. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and it gave you some things to think about if you're giving birth soon, or yeah, just ideas in general about how you plan to deal with your labour and delivery. I know I watched a lot of these videos, so, and they helped me greatly, so yeah, if you've got any questions, please let me know. Hopefully everything goes okay, and I'll keep you updated. Thanks, bye.